We aim to make this an engaging and valuable experience for all of you, both in person and virtually. Before we kick off the agenda items, I have a few administrative items to cover, but allow me first to thank our distinguished guests, Dr. Honey, and the standardization executives, and all our speakers and moderators for the concerted effort to participate in this conference. I'm also particularly pleased to welcome the winners of the 2021 Defense Standardization Program Awards. I look forward to greeting the awardees later this morning. As highlighted in the agenda, the theme of this conference is leveraging technology through standardization. But want to take a few moments to acknowledge a momentous occasion. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the Defense Standardization Program. If you would indulge me, I'd like to talk briefly about the legacy of the DSP, showcase the contributing factors to its success, reflect on the present, and over the next couple of days, we'll get a glimpse of what we hope to accomplish in the future. 70 years is nearly 3/4 of a century. That's a long time for any organization to persevere and to adapt to the rapidly changing world around it. Not only has the DSP adapted to change over time, but it has influenced the landscape of standardization within the United States. For example, the DoD was one of the first federal agencies to implement a non-government standards program and to deploy an online system for distribution of standards and standardization information. So first, back to the beginning. On July 1st, 1952, the 82nd Congress passed Public Law 436 titled Defense Cataloging and Standardization Act. This followed a memo issued just a year prior by Secretary of Defense George C. Marshall, in which he emphasized the importance of standardization in the DoD and directed all future specifications and standards to be issued in the federal or military series. The Defense Cataloging and Standardization Act of 1952 was born out of the need to unify the independent nature of standardization efforts across the DoD and formalize coordination that was occurring on a volunteer basis. The statute established a single, unified standardization program in the Department of Defense so that it may maximize the benefits of standardization. The 82nd Congress established law to ensure the DoD benefits from the kinds of things that standardization helps us to achieve, such as ensure the safety, reliability, quality, interoperability, and performance of the items, technology, and systems the DoD buys. In other words, they recognized that a standardized system is much easier to deploy and maintain. To give you a sense of what was going on at the time the DSP was created, the 1950s was a decade of major growth in science and technology. It was a time when advancements in electronics and mass communications made common household items such as televisions and telephones affordable and accessible to consumers. The first compiled programming language that could be translated directly into machine code using a compiler was unveiled. Jet aircrafts replaced slower propeller-driven aircraft. And the B-52, a system that's still in use today, was flown for the first time. In the 70 years of its existence, the DSP has endured in a meaningful way, and it continues to provide valuable tools to program stakeholders. It remains a comprehensive, integrated standardization program linking DoD acquisition, engineering, operational, sustainment, and related military and civil communities. The impact of the DSP is far-reaching because of all of you, and because of those like you over the years who recognize the value of standardization to the DoD. Through the years, the DSP has helped the DoD to improve military operational readiness. How? By achieving interoperability of systems, subsystems, and equipment with U.S. allies and among the military departments. For example, we will hear today from the ABCAN's Armies and AUSCAN ZUCAS programs, which conduct standardization in support of multinational interoperability. These are just a couple examples, and we could go and add many more to it. Munitions to tactical data links, other IT interoperability standards. The list goes on. Two, the DSP also improves military operational readiness by reducing the variety of supply items. This improves logistics support for items such as batteries and fasteners and the parts needed to repair and maintain systems. Three, by improving the reliability, maintainability, and safety of systems and supply items, using tried and tested engineering practices, parts, and procedures, not only builds trust, but allows us to anticipate or predict how an item or system will perform. And four, by modernizing existing systems, subsystems, and equipment through the insertion of new technology and parts. This is part of the reason the B-52 is still in use today, and a key benefit also of modular open system approaches and standards. Second, the DSP also helps the DoD to reduce total ownership costs in weapon systems and the items we acquire by reducing the number of non-standard parts and facilitating competition. By promoting the use of common and standard commercial processes, practices, and open systems, by working with industry and standards development organizations to keep standards current by incorporating cost-saving changes and lessons learned, by reducing training costs and standardizing best practices for training, and by optimizing systems engineering requirements by reaching consensus on those requirements. And third, the DSP helps the DoD reduce cycle time for the development of systems and acquisition of parts by using readily available standard items and identifying interchangeability and interoperability requirements to permit rapid introduction of new technologies. The heightened pace of technological innovation has challenged governments to recognize standardization and standards as foundational to innovation. Standards provide a vehicle for capturing and sharing best practices and the best of technology, enabling interoperability and modularity for upgrades and the insertion of new technology. Through the years, the DSP has adapted to support shifts and changes in the way modern society develops and uses technical standards and incorporates standardization in our day-to-day business. The DSP has achieved this through a management structure that supports engagement with subject matter experts within and outside the department. This structure provides a framework for the DoD to work with other federal agencies, industry, non-government standards bodies, and our allies and partners on efforts of mutual interest and benefit. The Defense Standardization Program is comprised of nearly 200 standardization management activities that develop and maintain standards and standardize across the department. Provides tools to support the distribution and management of data and information related to standardization. The program facilitates engagement with stakeholders through a variety of tools, resources, and forums, technical committees, and boards to address standards development, non-conforming and counterfeit parts, obsolescence, parts management, and more. It is a matter of incredible pride and a profound sense of achievement to witness the DSP thriving, meeting the needs of the DoD, and evolving to address the challenges of tomorrow. I could go on about the value of the DSP provides, what value the DSP provides to DoD, but over the course of 2 days, you will hear and see many ways in which the DSP provides value to the department in areas where we must achieve more, do better, and use innovative mechanisms to transform some of the ways in which we conduct standards business. I'm pleased to welcome our outstanding keynote speaker, panelists, and moderators and attendees today to day one of this 2-day event. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoy the next 2 days' events.